Hey, what's up, traders? They're watching this video here for Tuesday, March 22nd. The SPY I already talked about was up 4 days in a row. We did have pretty much a flat open. I'll go to the intraday to show you what happened today. Flat open, a little bit of a pop, sell off, grinded lower, and then a little bit of a run near the end of the day. But overall, closed about where we opened, a flat day. I actually, for my own trading, I had a I think I took 2 trades today. NRSN, I grabbed a pullback play in that one. Had a nice little trade in that, and then CYRN was running. All these cybersecurity plays were running, and as it was coming back down, I mean, it's late in the day, but it just goes to show, once you have a stock that's in play, setups can come in the final, 30 minutes or whatever. So I called a fives buy zone, which is basically right here, right in the middle between the blue and the red line. If you're not in our chat room, we have a free webinar on how we buy pullbacks. But it's basically right in the middle of these two lines. So around 850, 851, and what does it do? Goes down to 848, I believe, and then turns back up. Now, it doesn't look like much, but you know what? That went from the 850 area pretty much to the 950 area in about 10 minutes. And that's kind of what our bounce plays are designed to do, right? You got a bid in the right spot and you get a nice little bounce. So that was kind of a highlight from today. Overall, back to the SPY. Overall, pretty boring day. What are we watching for tomorrow? Remember, I make my money between the bells. I'm not an investor. This is day trading. So I'm going to start tomorrow with this list of stocks plus morning gappers. And as the day unfolds, I'll use scanners as well and try to only take A+ setups on the following list here. And again, in addition to that, the morning gappers. So UTME, let me zoom in a little bit so you get a little better view of it. Big gap up today and kind of closing pretty close to the highs. So I'm going to keep that on watch for tomorrow. NRSN had that massive move today. Closing well off its highs, though, and actually after hours gapping down a little bit in the 570s. Certainly worth keeping an eye on. Not just tomorrow, but whenever you have something that trades, look at that, 166 million shares, right? And goes from the 2s to the 8s and doesn't completely roll over. If you're a day trader, you should have that on a chart for the next at least 5 to 7 trading days, right? Because then if you know what an A+ setup is, you can make some money on it without the danger of having to hold it overnight, right? KODK is Kodak, which had the big rip on Friday. Kind of a quiet inside day today, so we're looking for a third day play there. AUID, which I've never heard of, but good volume for the stock and a pretty strong close. We'll see if that gives any kind of follow-through setup. I want to put one of the baby oils on watch. I'm not in love with this chart, but I wanted to have one of the recent baby oil flyers, and so I've chosen HUSA, which is kind of chopping sideways. And if I show you the ETF for oil, you had the big gap up today and a strong close, closing at 79.54. It's actually over 80 and after hours. So oil it looked like it was rolling back over. Next thing you know, it's strong again. That's kind of a recipe for a potential short squeeze. Add to that potential macro news, and we definitely want to keep an eye. If oil rips tomorrow, you should watch all of the, when I say baby oils, I mean the low price, low float oil stocks. And I've just chosen to put HUSA on. There's several you could watch though. CYRN, one of the cybersecurity plays. Pretty strong day, pretty strong close. We're going to see if we get any kind of setup in that one tomorrow. CISO is in that same space, trying to break out of this island down here. A strong close. We're going to keep our eyes on that one. And then the other cybersecurity play, I've chosen 3. CYRN, CISO, and IRNT. They all kind of tend to run together. IRNT doesn't look like it did much, but when you go to 5-minute candles, did not mean to do that, and I'm not even sure how to fix that now. Okay, there we go. It had really nice strength and volume going into the close. So those are the 3 cybersecurity plays. PIK, I would like to see another red day. This thing had a massive move, then gapped up today, but ended up putting in a red candle on the day. I would like to see one more red day, and then it would be one of my favorite bounce play watches. But I am going to start watching it for potential bounce tomorrow. That's PIK. HOUR scares me a little bit because it had a really nice move from $2 to $6. So it basically tripled in a couple of weeks. But then today, the bottom fell out from 620, got cut in half, right? 620 down to 326 before closing at 360. But it did turn right at the 20-day. So I am going to put this on bounce watch tomorrow. You can kind of boil it down to this simple facts. It's a recent high flyer that had kind of a nasty day. Sometimes that happens, and the next day it's right back up. I'm not in love with it, though, because that was kind of an ugly day today, but I'm going to put it on watch. ATHM, I'm also not in love with, one of the Chinese stocks, but had the gap up here. It's kind of flagging sideways for 4 days now below the whole number 30, so we're going to keep our eyes on that one. ENSV, I believe, is an oil and gas play, but I don't know why. It must have had news in after hours because it's trading at 464 right now in after hours. So a potential gapper tomorrow if it's still holding up in the pre-market. And then one other potential gapper is GGPI, which is an EV car maker. In after hours, this is trading at 1158. So a potential gapper there as well. I'm going to leave it at that. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm done babbling, and we'll see you in the chat room in the morning.